We're back.
Welcome back, guys. Level Up Podcast.
Level up. I feel like there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on this past couple days.
A lot of funny stuff?
A lot of, good stuff, weird stuff.
Okay.
Just a whole bunch of stuff, right?
What's weird?
Well, we never necessarily talked about where we're actually from. We're from New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And for a couple weeks now, there's been a lot of questions in regarding to these drones.
Yeah,
so for those that don't know what's going on, there's been a lot of sites and a lot of videos on TikTok or YouTube of all these like drone like videos, which a lot of people are expecting them. Well, they're saying that it's as big as a small little car or like an SUV, and it turns on, but when people show videos about it, it turns off. Mm-hmm. The weird thing about it is that it doesn't have any radio frequency. Mm-hmm. So they can't necessarily communicate with it, which makes it so kind of weird, where the military doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
and
it's really weird because there's been a lot of government officials. Phil Murphy said, our governor, commented on it as well. And nobody knows where they're from. Nobody knows or nobody's claiming to know anything about them. And it's been a pretty big mystery over the past couple of days, and people have still been seeing them.
Yeah, I think there was one congressman that said it was from Iran, and then that was quickly debunked. They're saying that it might be coming from overseas, and then there's some people that are saying it's coming from aliens. All we do know is that they were observing Picatinny Arsenal. Mm-hmm. They were in Morristown, and they were right across the street over there in Bedminster, observing the Trump's spot.
Yeah. Also, I heard that there were sightings in Dover, Chatham, and Colonia. But yeah, it's really weird. Nobody really knows where they're coming from. I don't think it's aliens. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the videos of the drones, there's red and green lights as if it was an airplane, on some of them, and which is really weird because it looks like a normal aircraft if you were to just take one quick glance at it.
Yeah.
But there's other ones that they look more like the remote drones, and they have they're called quadcopters. They have 4 fans or something like that, which is a typical drone which you would see, but. I didn't know that they were that big.
Yes. Some say that it's 6 feet. Others say that it's the size of a car. Mm-hmm. But that's he or she say. Mm-hmm. All we know is that when the government says not to worry, then it gets a little fishy. Yeah, it's a little fishy. But it's funny that it's out of all the states, it's New Jersey. I thought it was because the Happy Gilmore movie's filming in New Jersey, they wanted a little preview or something.
That'd be pretty funny.
But I feel like there's a lot of stuff happening in New Jersey, which is kind of exciting, but kind of weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Maybe they're flying over Juan Soto's new house.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yo, shout out to the Mets.
Shout out to the Mets. And it's funny that you mentioned that because literally when we finished publishing our video, if you haven't seen it, it's a mashup. And, please do.
Yeah.
We get the notification, and Juan Soto is going to be a Met probably for the end of his career.
Yeah.
Super excited. Yeah. He was pretty much the top free agent, and shout out to...
He was the big fish for sure.
Yes, Uncle Steve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stevie, man, he knows, when he wants something, he gets it, and I'm super excited that he's kind of bringing that to the Mets, which a lot of people will make the argument were the little brothers of the Yankees.
Yeah, for sure.
But this was a big boy move.
Yeah. And
I'll cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that one. Oh my gosh. You know what this means for this franchise? Or even it's huge. Cheers.
Well, if you put it into cheers. Mm-hmm. If you put it into perspective, Ochani, he's making more than Ochani, and by a lot, and I think he's a better overall player. I think
that's up for debate.
Yeah, that's up to. But for me personally, I feel like Juan Soto is one of the best top 3 bats now. Mm-hmm. and then he's only 26 years old, dude.
That's the
So
huge thing about it.
yeah, so he hasn't even reached his peak yet. You know what I mean? And it helps fill a hole with the Mets because they needed that, you know, super superstar, like Aaron Judge caliber superstar, like Francisco Lindor.
He was a big piece.
He was a huge piece of last year, but there was some doubts, especially in beginning of his contract. I think now that he's kind of solidified himself these last couple years as the guy, I think
huge for him.
yeah, this season was huge.
Wise,
yeah, his on base percentage, you know, elevated. You know, he was just a good person to be around. But incorporating now Vientos, which had a really good playoff series, and hopefully we can acquire Alonso back. But if not, there's other pieces in the free agency or trade acquisitions. But Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Vientos.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get Alonso back, and then Alvarez. Like that's that's pretty good.
There's Iglesias too. I don't know if Marte's going to be on the team still. I don't know if his contract is up.
Well, they have Jeff McNeil, which you know, he had a down year. Unfortunately for him, he was injury prone through there, but he was a batting champion at one point. You know, and then you have Iglesias, which had a beautiful story last year of, you know, him overcoming adversity with the "Oh My God" song, which captivated like so many of us as fans. But is he gonna be part of? I could see him being like a utility, like a Taylor, like Tyrod Taylor. You know what I mean? Like because last year there was a lot of hype with Mauricio, the prospect that got injured. He should be coming back, so hopefully he can play second base or maybe shortstop.
And they still have Luis Angel Acuna.
Yeah, the prospects are still there from the acquisition from the trades of Verlander and Scherzer. So like, there's a lot of pieces that the Mets have. You never know; they can always trade it to acquire some of the bats. But with Uncle Steve, like, he can pretty much choose. You know what I mean? I know that they still need pitching, but I think with David Stern, like I liked how he went into free agency last year and got proven like leadership pitchers that weren't like the top of the crop, but they were solid pitchers. And then, you know, like doing that six pitching rotation. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're gonna have the same kind of mentality as last year when it comes to the rotation. Because right now I think it's just David Peterson that came off a really good season last year. Then we have Kodai Zinga, which, you know, he's a stud. And I think those are right now. Oh, they have Holmes.
Oh yeah, they just signed Holmes.
Yeah, from the Yankees, and then I think they just signed Freddie Montes.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, those are the four, but I do think that they need to acquire at least two more solid pitchers to kind of give competition. You know what I mean? To bring the best out of the rotation.
Yep, I agree.
But the Mets are doing. The Yankees are doing pretty good too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of moves coming out after the winter meetings.
Yeah, I think maybe part of that's in response to like the Juan Soto signing. You know what I mean? Just to calm the fans down. And like, you know what? Also, I guess you're doing something right if Yankees fans are a little bit salty at you, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, they by all means are still like, you know, have a great team.
Yeah, they made it to the World Series.
They made it to the World Series, and like, you know, they're retaining a lot of their players. The team too, like, you know what I mean. That being said, Juan Soto signed with the Mets is huge for the Mets, but like my main point was just like, I don't know, this is just huge for the Mets because the 15 years is like, that gives them time. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to win next year.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's going to be a project. It's going to be like, this is just like, you know, them putting a plan together. You know, it really feels like that. Like, you know, they're trying to acquire. Steve Cohen is like, I don't know. We've never had a manager like or an owner like this, you know, who's willing to like spend the money and break the bank on like anybody who wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Going to the other borough, right, in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, because last year you had Giancarlo Stanton, Soto, and Judge. You had Soto and Giancarlo Stanton.
Stanton was
that was that trio, dude.
Yeah.
Now, Rizzo is a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Labor Torres, I believe, is a free agent.
Rizzo plays first base, right?
Rizzo plays first base.
And I'm calling it right here. I think Alonso's going to the Yankees.
I was gonna ask you about that because they have to acquire some pieces now that they lost like a big power hitter.
Okay.
A lot of people are putting Alonso into the Yankees equation, but with Uncle Steve, you can never doubt that he's gonna pay.
Yeah.
People are expecting maybe to the 180s, for a caliber player like Pete Alonso. We'll see if the Mets can match it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does go to the Yankees because it's they need a power hitter, and he definitely did himself some work in the playoff series, especially being clutch, especially that Milwaukee series when they were like 1 out away from losing. That pretty much, gave him a solid,
Absolutely. And like I think for Alonso, like going to the Yankees should be like extremely attractive. You know what I mean? Because number one, they just came off of a World Series appearance.
Yeah.
Number two, they're in need of a first baseman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like number three, like it's in the same city, the same like he doesn't have to move or anything like that. He knows he knows New York. Like he knows what the New York media is. Like he knows what's to expect when it comes to playing in New York.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like he appreciates all the New York love. Like all he's gonna get is love when he goes there. Like, you know what I mean? Or if he goes there.
Yeah, if he goes there, yeah. But hopefully he does decide to go back. But the way the free agency goes, like
you know the story. Like it's pretty much like the players have to think about themselves too, and like what's best for them.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's kind of like our wrap up with the Mets. Super excited of the future. I know that it's still early and there's a lot more moves that are going to be had in the draft, but a lot of positive buzz around the Mets and what the Mets are doing. I'm super happy that our frustration the last couple years with the Verlander and the Scherzer not working, but we got a lot in return, and we haven't even seen those returns blossom, and I feel like we're gonna see them, and like we haven't even seen like the best of Beatty. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of things to be excited for.
For sure. I don't know if you remember, like going back all the way to the beginning of the season when we were predicting the Mets schedule and like where they would end up.
Yeah.
We were like they would have to get like around 90 wins to like
get in. That's what I expected.
Yeah, and even just at the beginning of the season, like the way everything was starting, we were just like. I was like, I don't even see this team even making the playoffs. I'm already thinking about next year and what they need to do.
Yeah.
But the fact that they not even made it and they pushed all the way to the NLCS and they put it all together just at the end, and Mendoza staying on steering the ship right, like not getting phased. Them going to the trade deadline and acquiring some pitchers like here and there, which helped them later on.
Yeah.
Like Brooks Raley and like Stanek, those guys. It's just like it's been a long season. It's been a crazy season. And like now going into the off season, like I still can't believe it almost.
Yeah, and just the way that they went through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barely beating Milwaukee, kind of destroying.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Like this road was not easy.
Yeah, beating the Phillies. The way that they did it, and taking 2 out of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, but like you said, the difficulties and the struggles kind of helped build their character, and kind of why we kind of fell in love with the team.
Yeah, a lot of heart with this team. I've seen a lot of videos about Yankees fans. It's like, they like what like the Mets have right now. Like it's fun to be a Mets fan right now. Which has been fun in a long time.
Yeah, well, when you have the grimace, dude, it's kind of hard not to be. You know what I'm saying? But talking about exciting, maybe not unfortunately for Knicks fans, but the Hawks played very well.
Yeah.
And when the second half came and the Knicks weren't making their threes, I knew it that they, there was a chance that they weren't going to advance. Atlanta Hawks, I think they have a strong five that is built to play with the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee, the Cleveland, and the Knicks. And shout out to them, they performed, and they got the W.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I heard a crazy statistic, especially in the third and fourth quarter. There was like so many offensive rebounds with the Hawks, and when you were watching it, it was just like, oh my gosh, dude, it was so frustrating because usually when the Heart is usually the ones that are getting the offensive rebounds, but those are small things that they can tune up, right? And then they can figure out because. The Knicks have a lot of offensive power.
Yeah.
They just got to continue to focus on defense. Unfortunately, Mitchell Robinson, when he comes back, he's going to help re-identify the defense of the Knicks because I haven't seen it. So I haven't seen, like the bully ball right now. I think they're just kind of just pacing themselves and just kind of going in the motions and. But when it comes to the offense, there's so much creativity with Brunson and Cat, and then Makai's, being able to kind of facilitate a little bit. It was like a little hard transition from the beginning, but I think he's able to kind of find some spots to kind of get the points and stuff. But, and then it's just they gotta kind of double down on the defense, and once we kind of figure that out, then they'll be a threat. They'll be like a dangerous threat. You know what I mean?
I still think that they're a great team, and the NBA Cup it is what it is. It's still early in the season, but it's a great experience for them. It's almost playoff atmosphere.
It is. Yeah.
The cup, so that's great.
Yeah. Well, tell that to Trae Young,
Trae
dude.
Young is a monster,
bro.
Man.
He was
I think he had a crazy. I think the last 4 minutes he put up 12 points or something ridiculous.
Dude, he was
that.
like kissing the he just loves to play Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
He wants to be a Knick. He wants to.
I don't know. But he's a beast, man, and he's his game all around is he's not just a 3-point shooter anymore. His defense is really good now.
Yeah.
His passing is really good now.
Yeah, I think there was a statistic where his assists have skyrocketed, which because they have a lot of young talent on that team, and they have a lot of big Pascal Clint Capella, exactly, dude. They're tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out to them. They advance. They're gonna play Milwaukee.
Yeah. I can't wait for this. They're both playing tomorrow. The Bucks and the Hawks play at 4:30.
Yeah, and a great way for Milwaukee to re-identify themselves as contenders.
Yes.
To win the cup.
I think it's a big statement.
Yeah, it would be a big statement win. It was the Indiana Pacers last year
for the East. Yeah.
For the East, and I think that helped them mentally when they were in the playoffs to kind of get where they were, to get to where they ended up finishing.
Yeah.
For Milwaukee, they have the players, right? I don't think Middleton is still. I think he's still injured, but they still got Giannis, and they still got Dame Lillard.
Yep.
Those are two of the best of the best.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean? So they're always going to be in the games. It's just how they're going to utilize their other team members.
Yeah. Doc Rivers is a great coach. He's going to be able to put it together. And they still have Brook Lopez. You know what I mean? They still got a great team. Bobby Portis, Torian Prince.
Yeah, they were champions not too long ago, so they know how to play with amongst themselves because they really haven't changed much.
No.
I haven't been watching Western side as much as Eastern.
Me neither, but I know that the Rockets are doing really well.
I think they lost last game. I think, right?
In the cup.
In the cup, yeah.
I don't maybe. But I mean, they're advancing now. They're playing OKC.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. So, Udoka, I think I've read reports or whatever that he's on a mission this year.
Yeah.
He's pushing his team really, really hard.
Good.
you know, like he wants to get the most out of them and stuff. And like they're a young team, you know what I mean?
They're a very young team with a very, bright future.
Yeah, like Sengun, they're talking about like he's playing like the next Jokic. Like he plays like a big and like he plays like with a great passing ability.
He's a perfect example of what I've been emphasizing of the importance of a solid center, because his creativity can help, with facilitating the ball. He's not just like a perimeter player.
Yeah.
He has creativity, which is a dual threat in the modern NBA.
Yeah. Looking at their matchup against OKC, I think OKC is going to pull it out.
What about the Warriors? Are they still in it?
They're not in it. No.
They're not in it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know the Warriors are killing it right now.
Yeah. But I think for OKC, like Shai Gilgeous and their team's pretty good right now. I think is Chet Holmgren injured right now?
He might be.
Yeah. But yeah, they have Hartenstein, Lou Dort. Like I think if I had to pick the winner, I think I'd pick OKC out of this matchup.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
But yeah. So is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
No, that's pretty much it. The big three things I want to talk about.
Yeah, so we kind of touched about a little bit of everything, what's up in the sky, a little bit of sports, we'll keep you updated because this is a developing story. We don't even know what's going on. Yeah. All I know is every time I go to bed, I pray and I look outside, But, it is what it is.
Stay safe out there, guys.
Stay well. And Brian and Ryan, like and subscribe, and just comment. We got one of our comments talking about my boy Ryan looking like Salah
from Liverpool. Well, I'm a Liverpool fan.
Well, he's one of the best of the bets, so that's a great comment. So we appreciate that. Hopefully Liverpool can actually lose a game so Chelsea can kind of get a little bit closer.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Level Up.
Level Up.